we present this award. We present this award. This award was created 47 years ago, and it is voted on by all the presidents, and that's how we arrive at it. And now tonight we're passing it on to a man who's also been a president a few times.
All
Jack,
right.
congratulations.
Thank you very much, George. Appreciate it. Well, incidentally, my money is Stanley's money's on better wings. And I've never been here before, so I definitely wrote the wrong speech, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. When Mr. Kubrick called me and asked me to accept this award for him, the conversation, as it always does when we speak, jumped through many subjects. A new and interesting prize fighter, what a good character actor Tom Cruise was proving to be, and how the press was making up false stories about him, which will become myths through repetition. A short dialogue of film form and the breaking of it, how my main man Harvey Keitel was doing. A reference book on code and code breaking, where and how his lovely daughter Vivian was and how she was doing. A suggestion that I should produce a lot of films because I'm so generally dissatisfied with them. Stanley always wants us all to be expressing our abilities and not wasting our time pissing and moaning. After we hung up, my first impulse was to quote Bum Phillips when he said of Earl Campbell, the running back, that he was in a class all of his own, and if he wasn't, it don't take long to call the roll. Incidentally, my compliments to the Directors Guild of America for the correctness of classing Kubrick with Griffith and for making him the designee for this award. I'm sure that the sensibilities of the previous designees would be disturbed were his work not included, much in the way that the NBA in their 50-year classic overlooked one of my personal favorites, Bob McAdoo. In any event, my mother said all comparisons are odious. Lao Tzu said all tributes are false. He also said that which we cannot speak, we must be silent. Bob Dylan said you must be very honest to live outside the law. Stanley said, I think that for a movie or a play to say anything really truthful about life, it has to do so very obliquely. To avoid all pat conclusions and neatly tied up ideas, you use the audience's thrill of surprise and discovery to reinforce your ideas rather than reinforce them artificially through plot points, phony drama, or phony stage dynamics to put them across. With that, I will obliquely continue. Myth, form, meaning, time, family, code, acting, sport, and I forgot to mention women and womanizing, gender difference, and all that in one phone conversation with Stanley Kubrick. In the end, I promised Stanley no cheap jokes. I didn't really understand the evening then. He chuckled and said, well, Jack, how about a little reverence? I said, no, Stanley, I'm serious. I just want to tell people you don't wear a helmet, you don't have a chauffeur, you drive your own Porsche, lots of people don't like flying, you check things out because everybody fucks up all the time. Projection is always inadequate throughout the entire world. All prints are destroyed within 50 days of release, etc., etc. Well, anyway, no artist creates more anticipation among his peers about his coming work than Stanley Kubrick. He's always viewed very paradoxically. I sort of polled some of the members of the Directors Guild and other people that I've worked with who who knew him, and the paradoxes are always bizarre, benign, illusion, delusion, fear, inspiration, dizzying, lucid. He knows this, and he said that his critics are overwhelmed or at least overworked. He has always gotten mixed reviews, so his reputation has grown slowly. He's only made these 13 films, the 13th coming now in 45 years. He likes that the critics are overwhelmed, I think, because he's found out what we all hope for. The critics don't affect the audience, at least not of his work. Most all the New York critics missed 2001. My personal favorite, one of my favorite critics who shall remain nameless and who I hope on reflection is properly chagrined, chose to attack the opening section of 2001 the following way. In the first 30 seconds, this film gets off on the wrong foot, and although there are plenty of clever effects and some amusing spots, it never recovers. He found the labeling of the opening sequence of the film, The Dawn of Man, embarrassing. The metamorphosizing of the first tool to a bone, death, as you and I remember, into a weapon, into the future with Strauss, and the elegance of space travel, which we all now feel is one of the most economically profound transitions ever put before us, which is incidentally only the final piece of the sequence. He found it that easy to dismiss. But in answer to another myth of Stanley, that he's a nihilist, another person wrote that Kubrick seems to be saying that we were born of risen apes, not fallen angels, and that the apes were armed killers besides. And so what shall we wonder at? Our murders and massacres and missiles, and our irreconcilable regiments, for our treaties, whatever they may be worth, our symphonies, however seldom they may be played, our peaceful acres, however frequently they may be converted into battlefields, our dreams, however rarely they may be accomplished. The miracle of man is not how far he is sunk, but how magnificently he is risen.